Well, harvest time, it is a really good time of the year to be deliberately grateful to God for the life that we have here in Hull, for the food that we enjoy, for the people who work really hard on the farms and so on to produce this food for us. We have loads, and we should be grateful. But despite the good life that we do get to enjoy compared to most other people throughout time, and actually compared to most other people on the planet, actually, despite these blessings, we do have worries, we do have anxieties. And a common worry that we share, a concern that hits us all deeply, quite a lot of times is this: will we have enough? That's a question we end up asking a lot. It doesn't seem that long ago that we were queuing outside supermarkets during COVID, hoping there'd be some pasta for the family bolognese. Or, I just love that. Do you remember the great toilet roll shortage of 2012? I love this. Like, he's still opening the last packet in 20. That's a brilliant joke. People are clever, aren't they? But I think it went round again in 2023. I think there was rumours again, are we going to be running out of toilet roll? And people were filling their bathrooms with Andrex. And I remember one cartoon where there were so many toilet rolls in the window, they couldn't look outside to see the queues at the petrol station. But anyway, or more seriously, I wonder how often do you have that worry that the month is going to keep on going and the money has finished already? I mean, that's a common one, isn't it, for many of us? And then maybe even deeper, maybe even more hidden away, especially if you've got children that you're looking after. There's this question that sometimes spills out, especially when you kind of wake up at night or early in the morning. Are we giving them enough? Okay, are we doing enough for the children in our lives? Are we making the most of their childhood? You know, are we getting this one shot that we have at parenting right? So these questions, sometimes they're hidden down there, but they come out, don't they? We're often... have we enough? Are we doing enough? Well, today in John chapter 6, I'm going to do 4 pictures in a minute that I hope you're going to remember. We go to the one who made us, the one who came to live among us, the one who understands us completely, the one who knows everything, the one who loves us and who knows what's good for us. And we actually go to him for the answer to the question, what is enough? So we're going to go to Jesus for that. So the first thing, I'm going to go over here now, if that's all right. Can I stand here instead of standing over there? But the first thing, the question I have is that where do we find enough? So I've got a couple of horrible things here to look at. Where do we go to find enough? So there's a couple of horrible, awful things here that don't really... But this happens quite a lot often in our bread bin. Today I asked Joel to just keep a couple of bits ahead because he said, well, isn't it awful when you go and you want to put some nice Dairy Lee on a bit of bread and that's what you find? Isn't it awful? It's horrible, old, blue, mouldy bread. You wouldn't want that, would you? I've asked Joel to eat something this service, but it's not this, Joel, so don't worry. It's something different, okay? Horrible, okay? It's spoiled. Well, I went into our garden to get this. I need to be better at picking up these apples that are still rotten. But that's what apples should look like when they come off the tree, isn't it? But here's the apples. Here's some of the apples sitting in our garden. I need to get them in the brown bin. But they're pretty rotten, aren't they? And Jesus says, in this question, where do we go to find enough? I was teaching on this last week in Riverside, but Jesus says that there is food that spoils. And he's telling people, don't make your whole life about things that eventually rot. And then you think, well, what do you mean, Jesus? What things eventually rot? And actually, if you can name anything that you can name, pretty much eventually has a sell-by date. Eventually it goes mouldy. So food eventually goes off. Finances, money eventually stops making you happy. Success, accomplishment, friendships even. Sometimes they stop, they reach an end. Or even your friends move away, you move away. And your family is so brilliant. But there comes a point, doesn't it, whenever you go to that family funeral and that person's not there anymore. Everything Jesus says that we would work for in this life would eventually spoil. Jesus says, don't do that. Don't make your whole life about things that are eventually not going to be there anymore. Make your whole life about something else. He doesn't say don't enjoy these good things, but don't make your whole life about them. So where do we go to find enough? Well, I would quite like some people to hold these up. Is there anybody that would come up to the front and hold this one up for me? Or any of the fellas? Any of the lads? Come on, Isaac and Jimmy. Yes, good. Isaac and Jimmy, you come and stand up. And I'm going to need about 6 different people. Isaac, you hold that. Jimmy, you stand beside him. Right, Jimmy, you'll hold another one in a minute. Right, hold that one up so people can see it. Stand over there. Jimmy, I'll give you another one in a minute. So that was the first verse. Then Jesus declared, I am the bread of life. Whoever comes to me will never go hungry. And whoever believes in me will never, let me see that, never be thirsty. I want to get it right. John 6:35. So Jesus says that we must go to him if we want to find something that's going to be enough. So that's Jesus' big claim. So here's picture number 2. Who? So here's a signpost. I couldn't find any very good signposts. I actually drove around Hull yesterday looking for anybody I could put in the car that were just like lying about. But then I thought, that might be stealing anyway, so I'm not allowed to do that. So I stopped. So there's a signpost. Thanks, Mr. Warner. Signposts are there to point you to something. You read it and you know that the thing that they're telling you, make sure you do that. We don't just go to Jesus and listen to some good things he says, like he's a good teacher and stuff. Jesus says he himself is the bread of life. He is what people actually need. So hold that one up then, please, Jimmy. There we go. For my Father's will is that everyone who looks to the Son and believes in him shall have eternal life and will raise him up at the last day. There has been loads of signs in John's Gospel, loads of miracles that point to Jesus being the one that we should listen to. So the signs were there to get us to listen to Jesus and to go to Jesus. And when you go to Jesus, Jesus says that he's offering eternal life. Now, whenever Christians talk about eternal life, sometimes they get it wrong. Sometimes they just think that means, what happens after you die? But actually, eternal life starts now. Eternal life, Jesus says, is knowing Jesus and being in a loving relationship with him. And then, of course, at the last day, eternal life lasts after you die. After you die, you rise again with Jesus and you live forever. So this eternal life Jesus offers starts now and goes on forever. He says he's enough. So where do we go to find enough? We go to Jesus, but we don't just go and listen to him. He himself is enough. So then the question is, how do we get enough? So if you think this is true, if you think, yeah, okay, Jesus is the one that I want to go to, not just for his advice. Jesus is the answer. Well, how do you go from not being a Christian to being a Christian? How does somebody actually enter this eternal relationship with Jesus? Well, Jesus says it very simply. Right, can I have somebody else to hold this one up? Yes, Pablo, good lad. I knew you would volunteer. And there's Sarah volunteer. You can come too, Sarah, and then you can hold the next one up. There you go. Move across a bit, Izzy. Move across a bit. Let Pablo hold that one up. Good man. So Jesus says that, very truly, I tell you, can stand beside your brother and then I'll give you one in a minute. Very truly, I tell you, the one who believes has eternal life. I am the bread of life. So how do you go from not being a Christian to being a Christian? How do you go from not having eternal life to having eternal life? Jesus says that you believe. This is where I need Joel. Joel, come on. This is your time to shine. Joel and I work together. We have a good relationship, trust each other. It annoys me sometimes. Joel, I've got food for you, and you're gonna love it. You just have to trust me. It's really, really nice, right? You're gonna love that, right? So, Joel, he's a growing boy, and so chicken and jelly dog food. No, it's good for. He's gonna love it. You are gonna like this, all right? You're gonna really enjoy it. Well, yeah, you are. Honestly, I'll open it for you. He's good, Joel. We've got good friendship. He does. Just, oh my goodness. Well. Do your best there. It's quite nice, that. Look at that. It's nice, isn't it? It's lovely. But Joel, I promise you, this is good for you, okay? You can believe me. You can take me at my word. Go on, do it. Good lad. It's lovely. Do you like it? Oh, yeah. It's good, isn't it? Good. Right, thanks, Joel. Give him a round of applause. Give him a round of applause. Good. Right, it's not dog food. Of course it's not dog food. It's not dog food. It's ambrosia chocolate rice pudding, which I would still hate. I'd rather eat dog food, but it's not dog food. I stuck the dog food sign on. But the reason Joel could eat that, even though it doesn't look very appetizing, he believed me, right? I said to him it would be nice. I said to him it would be good for him. And he took me at my word, and he believed me. And when Jesus calls us to believe in him, like this verse says, let me say it again, Pablo, hold it up. When Jesus calls us to believe in him, he's not saying wait for a nice feeling one day that you kind of, I really believe now. He is saying respond to me properly. Take me at my word. So belief as a Christian isn't waiting for some sort of great feeling of belief and conviction, of being able to believe in something that you can't really accept. belief is taking the person at their word. And Joel, I would play a trick on Joel, and I would find it funny if he ate dog food. But he knows I wouldn't really make him. He knows I'm not like that, really. So he could believe me. But Jesus, when you come to Jesus and he says, believe me, we can take him at his word. Okay? So how do we get enough? The call is to believe Jesus. The call is to take him at his word. The call is to, if Jesus says he wants to be the king of your life, let him be the king of your life. That's how you go from not being a believer or not being a Christian to being a Christian. That's how you get enough. So then what does this mean for us? Well, look, the Christian message is the best message, the best news in the world, because it tells us that God has done for us what we cannot do for ourselves. Jesus lived for us, and he went to the cross, and he died for us, and he rose again. He defeated sin and death. And because of all of that, we know that everything he said is right. And we know that he is going to be enough, not just for now, but forever. And so the next verse is just so brilliant. Can you hold that, Sarah? Good girl. Hold it up high so people can see it. I am the living bread that came down from heaven. Whoever eats this bread will live forever. This bread is my flesh, which I will give for the life of the world. And that sounds quite strange, this bread is my flesh. But it's actually the amazing news that we celebrate and remember here all the time. So we're not going to do it today, but we often do this thing called the Lord's Supper or communion, and we drink wine together and we eat some bread together. And it's a sign that points us to the fact that Jesus died and that his body was broken, his blood was shed, and that is enough for us. And that helps us to keep loving him now, but also to keep looking forward to later. So when Jesus offers this, he says, believe in me, he means come and accept what I have done for you. And you will have enough for now, but you will also have enough for later as well. So come and stand in a nice line and hold them up nicely so we can all see them. Good. Yeah, come on over here, Sarah. You stand here. You stand here, right here. That's good. Pablo, you stand beside her there. And then Jimmy and Isaac. Hold them up and don't wiggle them. Hold them nice and straight so we can look at them. So these 4 verses throughout John 6 tell us that Jesus really is enough. He's sufficient. And if we believe in him, we will have everything that we need for now and for later. But he also says the opposite of this is if you refuse to believe, no matter how much stuff you get, no matter how good your life is, no matter how many friends you have and how much money you have or whatever, that might keep you happy for a while, but it's not enough. It will not be enough for eternity. It might scrape you through to the end of your life, but it's not enough. That's what Jesus says. And so there are 2 responses that we read, and I just hold these 2 up because I've got 2 hands. So the 2 responses are this. So on hearing it, many of his disciples said, this is a hard teaching. Who can accept it? So many people listening to that thought, that's too hard for me. I don't want Jesus to be the king of my life. I don't want to follow him. I want to do my own thing. It's a hard saying. And so then Jesus said, and lots of them left. Lots of them went away at that point and didn't follow him anymore. And then Jesus heard that his disciples were grumbling and said, does this offend you? So it is quite offensive, I think, to be told that we can't have enough, but Jesus offers us enough. We don't really like that, but it's true, and it's a brilliant invitation. So some people at that point just left Jesus, didn't want to follow him anymore. But there was another response as well. And so, you don't want to leave too? Jesus asked the 12, and Simon Peter answered him, Lord, to whom shall we go? You have the words of eternal life. We have come to believe and to know that you are the Holy One of God. So the big thing in John 6 that we've been looking at as a church family for the past 2 weeks, and now we're doing it today in this service too. The big thing is, the question is, what is enough? Do you know what's going to be enough for you and for me as individuals? What's going to be enough for our society? And what's going to be enough for our children? What do we want to give to our children? Well, the wonderful news and the amazing invite that Jesus gives every one of us is this, that Jesus is enough, that Jesus is sufficient, both for now and forever. And so that is the invite that he gives you. And that is the way all of us could walk out the door today saying, I've got enough. I've got enough. No matter what happens to me, I've got enough. No matter what else I don't have in life, if I've got Jesus, I've got enough. And that's what we want for you. That's what we want for everyone who comes here every Sunday. That's what we want for everybody that we live among. We want them to know that Jesus is enough. So guys, well done. Give these guys a round of applause. You can go and sit down now. Thank you. Good.